Hi, it's Jane with Scraptastic Yarns, and, well, should we discuss what I don't have done? As in, any WIPs, any projects, nothing. Nothing that actually really has to do with, crochet. Although I am continuing to work on that blanket, baby blanket. Got that much done. That's it, guys. Sorry. The only other thing that I've done is, I've been playing with drawing. One, had to go out and get a real leaf. And bring that in and draw it. So I drew it one way. And I drew it another. And then I just messed around. So yeah, that's basically has been it. I've been doing a lot of Bible study and journaling. I did find another device. This was a computer that Thomas used out in the field. It's a Vanguard. And I've gotten into it, but I haven't really looked on it because, quite frankly, I don't know what else he could have on anything. And I'm just tired of looking, just tired of dealing with it. So, I did ask one of his colleagues if there's any information on it that I might need to pull off. So then I can go in and look for it, because, quite frankly, I'm done. Tired of it. It's just, I've got everything onto a hard drive that anyone who's asking for any of his research might need. So, I figured that's good enough. You know? One thing that drove me nuts about him is he did not keep, when he ran a field trip, he did not keep the field manual along with the title of. He would put in these pictures of the whole field trip with all the students and everything. But he didn't label it like a different file folder telling you which field trip it was. And, you know, and my thoughts were those were things that could be, you know, put into a small notebook and given to the geology club there at the university so the kids, you know, could have a look and see at some of the field trips. But I don't have any field manuals, so got nothing to go by. And I guess, you know, I find it interesting because today I went into the drawing class and the fellow that runs it was talking about how women and men's brains work a little different. Women can multitask, men cannot. And because the lady that was sitting next to me was a retired nurse as well, she'd just gotten remarried, and we were just talking about our nursing life, you know, together, chit-chatting, while we were drawing. Of course, he walked over and he said, I do want to encourage you to talk to one another, get to know one another, but for some of us, it drives us a little crazy. And I said, well, I didn't think we were talking that loud. He said, no, but you know, some people like to meditate while they're drawing. And I forgot this about him. He likes to do that, and that's fine. So we, you know, kind of said, okay, we understand, not a problem. So we backed off on our talk. Left that for after the class. So yeah, you know, it's just interesting how men are starting to recognize that they can't do things women can, you know, and it always reminds me of the one comedian, Jeannie Robertson, her talking about her husband, you know, those things. And then also there was a comedian, I can't remember his name, but he had talked about men and women and their brains being two different things. Women have all these windows open, and men only have one window at a time open. So it was just rather funny, you know, to hear him say that. But yeah, that is basically it, other than doing all the estate stuff. Ugh. That's so boring. Ugh. And I know it has to be done, but, you know, I'd like to get it done, get it over with. But, you know, then you have to wait for the lawyer, be able to do this, do that, all that fun stuff. So, I didn't get anything done. Not a thing, guys. And there is a part of me that says, you know, that is so not like me, because normally I could whip out 195 different things, and, well, not that many, but you know what I mean. I have 4 or 5 things each week, you know, at least 2 or 3 I was working on at a time. Now it doesn't seem like I'm able to even focus on that. And I know a lot of people have told me that just happens to be what they call widow's brain. And it probably goes on for a year to 2 years before you start coming out of that fog. And I thought it was bad enough having the fibromyalgia fog, but this, it's interesting. All right, guys, enough of that. Okay, let's move on. Now, I have one little beef that I want to talk about. It has to do with Facebook and Instagram. First of all, there's 2, I guess. Instagram lately, it has become like this mini TikTok. I miss being able to just see pictures. I don't really care about watching reels. Just don't find those all that interesting, and I find them more like TikTok. Sometimes they're just meant to be controversial or silly, and I just don't get it. But I miss just being able to see the pictures when it used to be Instagram and you just posted a picture. I miss that. I miss seeing people's projects and those kind of things. So there's that. Facebook. This has to do with men. When you put up I'll give you an example. I'll put up a funny post, a funny meme, and then these men come in underneath, and I know, first of all, because when you read it, they're not English versed. Okay? They're not raised in America. And you can tell that because the way that they will ask, I will like to be friends with you. You have such interesting posts and all this. And I'm like, scammer. But, you know, men, why can't you just send a friend request and not do all this stupid, silly stuff? Now, I know a lot of those men requests, as my one friend says, if you've talked about, you know, your husband passing away, it's scammers looking to scam you. And I know that. I'm not worried about that because I'm very selective when I select, you know, friend a male. First of all, usually I'll send them a message like, where do you know me from? Why do you want to be my friend? You know, I give them the 5th degree like it was my sister interviewing Thomas when, you know, we were hooking up. So, and she did. She wanted to know what his intentions were. But that frustrates me. You know, and Facebook lately, some of the stupidest things, their AI tags, you know, as being offensive. Really? Really? You gotta do better with your AI, Facebook, because some of it's just ridiculous. Alright. I have some wanted Tarnation. That's about all this episode's about. Sorry about that, folks. I'm trying to get back into it. I have also been cutting fabric and cutting the interfacing to go into the bags, so I've been busy doing that. I did want to tell you that in July, I will be putting up many of the old bags, Christmas bags and things for Christmas in July at a sale price. So you can kind of look for that on the shop. Now let's get on to a little what in Tarnation. National Ice Cream Cake Day started as a Florida family's tribute to their mother. National Ice Cream Cake Day, celebrated annually on June the 27th, which is yesterday, Was started by a Florida family to pay tribute to their mother. The holiday was first suggested by Jenna Gerardo, whose mother Johanna had died in a car accident just 2 months before her June 27th birthday. Gerardo said her mother enjoyed celebrating unofficial holidays from the National Day calendar. So she decided to submit her own holiday in tribute to her mother, who was a noted fan of ice cream cakes. And who isn't? They are delicious. So the petition was accepted and declared June the 27th to be National Ice Cream Cake Day. Other days for that holiday are Decide to Be Married Day, Happy Birthday to You Day, Helen Keller Day, Industrial Workers of the World Day, National Bingo Day. Bingo can be a dangerous place, especially if you walk into the crowd that you put your purse on the table and they get all bent out of shape and you don't know which crowd you're in. Or the other crowd is if you put your purse on the chair or the floor, they get all bent out of shape. Has to do with luck, so it's interesting. National Energy Shopping Day. Oh, this is a great day to do energy shopping. National HIV Testing Day. National Indian Pudding Day. I don't think I've ever had Indian pudding. Wonder what that is. National Orange Blossom Day. Please take my children to work day. PTSD Awareness Day and Sunglasses Day. Oh boy. NYPD beekeepers called to remove 2,000 bees from a Manhattan restaurant. The New York Police Department said its beekeepers division, did you know they even had a beekeepers division, was dispatched to a midtown Manhattan eatery over the weekend to remove 2,000 bees. The bees will now be relocated to an area where their pollinating skills will be put to good use, their official Twitter feed said Sunday. Photos show the bees clustered around the corner of the roof of a Times Square restaurant outdoor seating area. Last month, the New York Police Department beekeepers removed 8,000 honeybees from 3 World Trade Center in downtown Manhattan and relocated them without incident to an apple orchard. I wonder, do they stay there? I guess you have to get the queen bee to get them to stay there, right? And now we have another mystery. Miniature house installed in San Francisco Park, a mystery. Who knew? Park officials in San Francisco said they do not know who installed the latest attraction in the Golden Gate Park, a miniature house placed atop a 30-foot tall tree stump. The miniature model of a Victorian home has been drawing its own visitors to the southern entrance of the Golden Gate Park, and officials said they first noticed the diminutive dwelling about 6 weeks ago. The blue and yellow house bears a handwritten message on the side, "Where there is hatred, let us sow love." San Francisco Recreation and Parks officials said they do not know the origins of the art installation. As far as we can tell, it appeared about 6 weeks ago without explanation, Park spokesman Tamara Apartans told SF Gate. Recreation and Parks General Manager Phil Ginsberg said he has been instructed his staff not to remove the tiny house. So if you're in the area, go check it out. Mystery horse caught wandering loose in Texas neighborhood. Authorities in Texas are trying to find the owner of a mystery horse found wandering loose through a residential neighborhood. City of San Antonio Animal Care Services said in a Facebook post that animal care officers responded to the area of Rigsby and Highway 87 when a horse was reported wandering loose through the streets. Officials said a witness managed to lasso the horse and keep it out of traffic until it could be turned over to the animal care officers. The horse, dubbed Celiaio by rescuers, was not microchipped and did not have any brand officials could locate. The horse was taken to the Animal Care Services Corral, while the Bexar County Sheriff's Office attempts to locate the animal's owner. So if you're missing a horse in Texas, you might want to give them a call. Line of 4,280 plastic lawn flamingos breaks World Guinness Record. Park officials in Buffalo, New York reclaimed a Guinness World Records title by assembling a line of 4,280 plastic garden flamingos. The Buffalo Olmsted Parks Conservancy assembled the flamingos, dubbed Flamingos, in honor of the landscape architect Frederick Law Olmsted, into a line Tuesday at the city's front park. The record attempt took about 6 months of planning and was timed to coincide with the celebration of Olmsted's 200th birthday. So we've been working with Guinness for about 6 months now, following all of their guidelines and regulations. You may not believe it, but they have a very long list of guidelines for the longest line of garden flamingo. Katie Stevenson, Director of Development and Communications at the Buffalo Olmsted Parks Conservancy, told WGRZ-TV. Park officials originally set the record in 2018 with the line of 1,500 flamingos on Bidwell Parkway. The record was taken in 2019 by South Carolina group called Pledge the Pink, which created a line of 3,753 flamingos. And of course, they did set the new world record. You know, if you've been lucky enough to see a few baseball games, then you've seen this squirrel in action. Squirrel briefly interrupts Cubs-Pirates game in Pittsburgh. A game between the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park in Pittsburgh was briefly interrupted when a squirrel ran out onto the field. Video of Monday night's game shows the squirrel appear to enter from stands on the third base side of the field during the bottom of the second inning and run toward the left field corner while members of the ground crew give chase. The squirrel visited the Cubs bullpen before apparently exiting the field, as no further squirrel sightings occurred during the game. The Pirates went on to win the game 12-1. And by all means, listen to the commentators, because that makes it even funnier. Oh boy. Kitten rescued by Tennessee couple turns out to be a baby bobcat. A Tennessee animal rescue group said a couple who brought in a kitten they found on their back deck were shocked to learn the animal was a baby bobcat. True Rescue in Mount Juliet said on a Facebook post that a couple came in on Friday with a kitten that ran up to the humans on the back deck of their home. The couple sought emergency placement for the homeless kitten, the rescue group said. The rescue said the couple were surprised when rescue staff told them the animal they had was a bobcat kitten. Half an hour later, and off he went to our friends at Walden's Puddle with one of our volunteers. Never a dull moment at True Rescue, the post said. Thomas, when he was working on his PhD in Blacksburg, Virginia, at Virginia Tech, his advisor, quite often we would go out there and have meals with them, or, just go over to visit and sit and talk, those kind of things. His advisor had a gate, one of the kitty doors, up to the back of the house, and also one that came into the garage, and then one that came from the garage upstairs for the cats to come in. So they had two ways in and out of the house. Well, he was always plagued by raccoons, because raccoons would get in and destroy things. Finally, we helped him catch the raccoon and get rid of it. And then he determined that he needed to get the little collar for the cats you know, that has the locking mechanism so it automatically opens. But he hadn't done that yet. And he kept talking about this male cat, orange ginger cat, that kept pestering and scaring his cats. And he would find him out in the yard, you know, and he just wanted to get rid of him. So he set up an animal trap to catch the cat. Well, he caught the cat, and he said that was the biggest tomcat I've ever seen. And he had the funniest little growl. I took him across the highway and way down into some holler and let him go. And about that time, Thomas and I started chuckling. And he goes, "What's so funny?" Thomas had asked him, "Did that cat had tuft ears, you know, like little spikes on his ear that maybe were a little blackened?" He said, "Oh yeah, I did. And that fellow was mad." We were like, "Fred, that was a bobcat. That wasn't a regular cat. It was a bobcat." He's like, "Oh my God." He was Australian, so he had a very deep Australian accent. So we had quite a giggle with that. Now I thought I would close today with a devotion. And this comes out of the Amazing Grace devotional. Unless the Lord builds a house, the work out of the builders is wasted. Unless the Lord protects a city, guarding it with sentries will do no good. That comes from Psalm 127:1 out of the New Living Testament. To attempt any great work apart from Christ is meaningless. Without seeking to work alongside Him in His will, our efforts are wasted and our goals are futile. But when we choose to partner with the Almighty God in the work He is already accomplishing, then we experience the joy of His blessing and the reward of His presence. Wait for God. Ask Him to reveal to you where He is working and how He would like you to join Him. Ask Him to call on you as He did the disciples, by telling you to follow Him and then by leading you directly into His will. And here's the question to ponder. How can you be an effective participant in God's will? Now, I am also going to tell you, I will not be reading these in the daily. I've already studied this last year. So each time, you know, we do this with Scraptastic Yarns, I will read the next days. So it's not going to be in a chronological order, like by the date. I just thought I would end with that this time. It's something I've been thinking about, but there's also something else that I kind of wanted to discuss. And it is a touchy subject, has to do with Roe versus Wade. And it's not the decision, it's not my views or anyone else's views. But I have seen a lot of posts that have come up from people that are bashing Christians and talking about how they're not Christ-like for their hate. Hate for gays, hate for different opinions, hate for this, hate for that kind of thing. And this is what I want to say about that. That is a two-way street. It doesn't matter what your religion is. If you carry hate in your heart for another human being, no matter their faith, the color of their skin, their beliefs, their politics, their religion, then you are not representing your faith to the fullest. And you are not representing humanity in its best light. So, yeah, I'm going to end with the normal. Be kind to one another. Love one another. Love yourself. Love others, definitely. And by all means, get out there and see that great, big, beautiful world we have. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.